everybody, Racing TV here, back in another wonderful racing video. This is the classic tournament, our second to last tournaments to the big 32 tournament coming up this May. So, congratulations to all the cars that have made it over to the big 32 competition. Now, this is the classic tournaments, I have now said. Now, there's a couple of duplicates with, like, the Buick, the Impalas. We do have a lot of, I think we have a couple of Mustangs. We do have a Roadrunner. I think these are both 32 Chevys right here. So let's get started, and remember, pick your car along the way, so I'll give you about 5 seconds. The Buick Rivera up against the Buick Willie, 3, 2, 1. The Buick Willie will be moving on. Dodge Monaco up against the Custom Beetle, 3, 2, 1. Dodge Monaco will be moving on. 71 Mustang up against the 56 Ford, 3, 2, 1. The Ford Mustang will be moving on. Here's a car I never race at all. The Cadillac Seville up against the Bel Air Custom, 3, 2, 1. Cadillac Seville will be moving on. Custom Bel Air is eliminated. 59 Impala up against the Chevy Nova, 3, 2, 1. That will be going to the Nova. Jaguar MK1 up against the other Impala, 3, 2, 1. And the Impala is moving on. Ford F Semi up against the Chevy El Camino, 3, 2, 1. El Camino is moving on. The teal Buick Rivera up against the 62 Corvette, 3, 2, 1. This time it will be the Rivera. 52 Chevy pickup up against the Dodge Cornet police vehicle, 3, 2, 1. Dodge. The Buick Century up against the Dodge Sweatside, 3, 2, 1. They'll be going to the Buick Century. Custom Roadrunner up against the Ford Flybird, 3, 2, 1. Ford Flybird. The Monte Carlo up against the other 52 Chevy, 3, 2, 1. And the Monte Carlo will be moving on. Nissan Skylark up against the Plymouth Fury, 3, 2, 1. Plymouth Fury eliminated, and then the Plymouth Skylark is moving on. Custom Chevy Gasser up against the Mercury, I think, 3, 2, 1. So Fine's moving on, and yes, he's not a Mercury, but he looks like one. And also because he was also one of the other classics that I had left. Ford Mustang against the 41 Plymouth, 3, 2, 1. Plymouth is eliminated, and this Mustang is moving on. Here is the Plymouth GTX up against the Chevrolet Grand Sport, 3, 2, 1. The Grand Sport is moving on. Here are the cars that have survived round 1 onto round 2. 41 Willie up against the Dodge Monaco, 3, 2, 1. 41 Willie coming in. 71 Mustang up against the Cadillac Seville, 3, 2, 1. The Seville is moving on. Both of the Polos, but only one will be left. 3, 2, 1. And the Silver Impala is moving on. Chevrolet El Camino up against the Buick Rivera, 3, 2, 1. And the Chevy El Camino is moving on. The Dodge Concept up against the Buick Century, 3, 2, 1. Buick Century is moving on. Ford Flybird up against the Monticello, 3, 2, 1. Ford Flybird is moving on. The Buick Skylark up against So Fine, 3, 2, 1. The Buick is moving on, and So Fine is eliminated. Ford Mustang up against the Grand Sport, 3, 2, 1. Grand Sport will be moving on. So here are the cars that survived round 2 onto round 3. So 41 Willie up against the Cadillac Seville, 3, 2, 1. The Cadillac Seville is going to the semifinals. Chevrolet Impala up against the Chevy El Camino, 3, 2, 1. And the El Camino is going to the finals. Buick Century up against the Ford Flybird, 3, 2, 1. Ford Flybird. Buick Skylark up against the Grand Sport, 3, 2, 1. The Grand Sport coming in and be moving on. Here are the cars that have survived round 3 and on to the semifinals. So, El Camino, no. It'll be with the blue cars, and then the Cadillac Seville up against the Grand Sport. 3, 2, 1. And it'll be going to the El Camino. Then finally, the Cadillac Seville up against the Grand Sport. 3, 2, 1. And it'll be going to the Grand Sports. If you go through all of these winners that are going to the Big 32 competition, there's one similarity that both of those two last winners have in common. Whoever wins will be the very first ever Chevrolet winner of that is going to the Big 32 competition. I think the big car company that is winning is Ford. So Ford F-150, Ford Mustang convertible, 57 Ford Flybird, Ford Bronco, and then the Ford 350. I think next would probably be no one. I think that's the number one car company. So congratulations Ford for winning, but now it's just left with Chevrolet. So out of the classic tournaments, it is left with the El Camino and the Chevrolet Grand Sports. Congratulations, you guys. You guys are the final two. And remember, yes, there is points and will be lane swaps. So round one, El Camino. Round two, congratulations to the Chevrolet El Camino for being the very first ever Chevrolet to win. So this was the second to last tournament for the Big 32 competition. So there is a fantasy draft coming up. Me and my little brother as my special guest will be racing each other, seeing who has the best vehicle. Whoever wins will be going right here up against the El Camino. We'll find that out pretty soon. So stay tuned up to May, around there, for the Big 32 competition. Everybody, keep on racing.